how did we get to Tiger? So I was working with Davis Love at the time. And Davis, we had signed Davis. Davis had gone through Tommy Armour 845s. Then he played Mizuno's at the end of that contract. And, you know, he wanted to play some kind of forged golf club, and he wanted to play a club that he could play. So we ended up making those kind of handmade cavity back prototype blades that with a little bit of shallow cavity in there that we never sold, but he won the PGA with. So I guess another major for me.
There you go.
Casual.
You know,
casual
another chalk up another major. And then so he was pretty set, and you know the R&D team had kind of been working a little bit. Titleist, Terry McCabe, and I had all the respect in the world for Terry. Terry was a great designer, did the all tailor-made stuffs, and you know, he and I got along very well. And, you know, he was just struggling a little bit. With Tiger. And Wally's like, hey, well, you know, can you fly down and spend some time with Tiger and Butch at Isleworth and see what you can do? And I said, well, that's fine. And I knew Butch very well because of my relationship with Dick. So hanging around the Harmons is nothing. I mean, all you're going to do is get smarter hanging around the Harmon. All I can tell, you know, if there's one thing I can tell you in this world, that if you're going to hang around and you want to learn something about golf, just hang around a Harmon. You'll learn something. And if you're not learning something, you're just not listening.
Yeah.
So, you know, so now it was like, okay, well, so I flew down there and sat and had breakfast with Tiger and Butch and watched them hit golf balls for about 2 or 3 hours. And I'm like, you know, they expected me to spend a couple of days there, and I'm like, oh, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I've got a pretty good idea what Butch wants to see in ball flight, what Tiger wants to look and feel. And so, yeah, I came back and I said, Tiger, I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a set of clubs for you. But I'm going to make 3 sets of identical irons for you. And what I need you to do is you pick your A set, you know, your best 2-iron, your best 3-iron, 4-iron on down. The second best set becomes your backup set. And, you know, the third set you probably give to your buddy or whatever. I don't really care what happens to the third set. But that's how I learn. That's how I learned from Bob Mandrell and Joe Phillips, that when you're working with somebody, you know, you get them as close as you can, but you give them an option that this is, you know, and you let them make the choice. So he was really the final decision guy, you know, trying to tell the best player in the world, hey, this is what you should play because I think you should play that. It's kind of a tough conversation, you know. He's the guy holding on to the club. He's the guy that's looking at the club. He's the guy that's feeling the shot. It really, you know, again, I'm going to take the best information that he's given me and the best knowledge I have to turn a golf club into an implement that he can use, but he's ultimately got to be the judge of what he's going to use or not use and what he likes and doesn't like. You know, so everybody goes, well, how many sets did it? Well, it really, I mean, honestly, it was just one set. It really, it didn't take any more than that, you know, but, you know, one of the things Mr. Penna told me years before, he goes, if you're working with tour players, you gotta do 3 things. You have to look at what they're doing. You got to look at their divots. You got to look at their golf swing. You have to copy what they like in golf clubs, and you have to listen to them. And he goes, sometimes it's not what they're saying, it's what they're not saying. Mm. Okay.
Interesting.
It's pretty good information. You know, if you're going to be a club builder, tour jockey, whatever you want to call it, tour rep, pretty good information to go back and say, hey, if I can accomplish those 3 things, I can build you a golf club. And that's what I did. And, you know, he was very happy with. There's some minor tweaks through some of the set. Yeah, there's a little bit, but not a lot. you know, and they were built out of forgings that we had, and then we ultimately went to Endo and, you know, built the 681 irons from that. So we didn't have to do a whole bunch of crazy grinding like we had to do on the other ones. So, yeah.
And there it is, the like $1 million sitting at the 19th hole.
Yeah.
They were Titleist irons. They weren't Mizunos that were restamped and then
A lot of controversy
whatever.
over these irons.
I know.
Does it make you laugh?
I still see it posted.
Like,
It does. You know, it used to bother. I'll be honest. It used to bother me. Now I just kind of look at it and just go, whatever. No disrespect to anybody, but you weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there. You weren't there, and that's okay. And